Hello. So this is yoga for feeling some tightness around the right ribs, having a little bit of generalized inflammation, some soreness in the shoulders, particularly in twisting or reaching the arms up. And we begin with being really kind to ourselves and really feeling our yoga is something very beautiful, has a sensual quality to it. It's about feeling, sensing. And it's about really enjoying the body. So the body is a place that we can be curious about, we can enjoy feeling into, we can enjoy its radiance, we can enjoy its softness. And that's the heart of the yoga practice. It's very helpful because it'll calm down the inflammation. It'll take away ideas of right and wrong, good and bad, and really have us find ourselves in our true center. And who we're listening to is our breath, our body, our lived experience in this moment. Some of the movements that are useful is getting into the spine. So we're wanting to get a bit more breath into the back of the spine. A lovely rounding of the spine in what I call scary cat is great. It'll also give us a chance to lift through the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, and through the low abdominal area, Uddiyana Bandha. So Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, chin to chest and get your maximum roundness. And then inhale and soften off. Exhale and round. In the exhale here, that's going to get us into the scooping of the belly inward and upward, the roundness of the spine. Can you take this time to actually breathe in as well? So you're nice and round, back lungs broad and open. Inhale, feel the inhalation as a pressure into the back body. And then release. And one more round, tucking. Long neck, long spine. Think of the back body pressing up to the sky. There's an upward pressure, a fullness in the lower back. And then inhale, soften off. Good. Move the hips from side to side. Get into those lovely, sensual, fluid movements of playful cat through shoulders and hips. Just remind yourself you're looking for lovely sensations and a happy, joyful yoga practice. Good. You might like to do a couple of twisted cats, just again to free those ribs and the shoulder. So this top shoulder in your twisted cat, it's important that it's not letting the arm bone drop forward of the shoulder, which a lot of people have the hand back, but the arm bone is forward. So we're going to do the opposite. Hand forward, gather the shoulder back, even if you need to bend the elbow. This bony point here, back into the back of the shoulder socket. And that's much better. And you can do the twist on the other side. And really explore that idea of hand forward but shoulder back is much better than this. Shoulder back into the back of the hip, the shoulder socket. Okay. Some other practices for you to take into your life. We'll be getting the full breath into the body. Two things. One is the broadness of the breath around the back and side lungs, and the other is the toning of the abdomen. Let's begin with the Ujjayi breath. A slight restriction at the back of the throat, creating a rasping sound. Breathing in and out of the nose. And if you have that tendency as you inhale to lift the shoulders and to breathe into the upper chest, what I ask you to do is to really try to let the belly soften and fill forward as you breathe in. And imagine that your body is a sponge. It's a sponge, like a sponge in the ocean, that's really slowly absorbing that inhalation in. The very beginning of the inhale is very slow. The middle of the inhalation is still quite slow. and then you reach the end. So really slow down the beginning and the middle of the in-breath. Listen to the Ujjayi breath. The exhalation, begin to draw navel to spine, narrowing the waist, feeling support right through to the lower back. As we draw navel to spine, that's what we're doing. We're creating a support for the lumbar spine through tone of the belly. Slow inhalation allows us to release that belly tone. Fill right up from the lower belly to the upper belly, through the solar plexus, up through the lungs. Feel broad through the back body. And exhale, draw navel to spine. And you'll see now that a full inhalation doesn't have anything to do with lifting the shoulders or using the accessory muscles of the breath. To do with a downward pressure. Inhalation is a downward pressure. So continue with that practice, Ujjayi breath, and letting the diaphragm descend down on the inhale and really drawing navel to spine on the exhale. Our next breath practice is for the toning of the belly, but also the purification of the digestive system. So you can come to whatever seated posture suits you. You might be working with Siddhasana, which is really lovely. It keeps us well forward on the front of the pelvis. The head above heart, heart above belly. Take a few breaths here. The arms can be wide and holding on to the knees. That gives us more of a sense of stability, that beautiful shape of a triangle, stable and strong. On the exhale, we breathe sharp out the nose and draw the navel to spine to give that outward pressure through the nose. On the inhalation, we just relax the belly and the breath passively enters through the nose. Exhale. Inhale passively. Exhale. Inhale passively. If you need tissues, now's the time to grab them. Once you're really clear, the exhalation is the flattening of the belly, possibly even lift of pelvic floor, just naturally. You don't have to do it. Then you can start to move a little quicker through the practice. So 20 is enough for a beginner. Then you sit and notice how you feel. If you're feeling a little dizzy or lightheaded, that's really common. Just make sure it's not too much, and do not do more than 20 without a long break. Yeah, and of course contact me if you have any questions, any concerns. So rest for at least 3 natural breaths between rounds. As we go into our second round of Kapala bhati, which is head shining breath, this is the strong exhalation that sends energy up the spine to clear the mind, clears the eyes and our vision, clears the crown of the head. As you get more and more into this practice, at the end, it's quite a long exhalation all the way out, quite conscious. And then we inhale in and we hold that breath in. As we hold the breath in, we can lift up Mula Bandha, a slight Uddiyana Bandha, and just pause there. That's how we'll finish each round. Let's do another 20. Breathe all the way out at the end. Breathing in. And close the eyes, lift through the pelvic floor, draw the navel inward and upward, Uddiyana Bandha, as well as Mula Bandha at the base. Be totally restful in the mind. Upper body relaxed, shoulders and neck relaxed. Enjoy the firm support from the pelvis and the lower body. And then release Uddiyana Bandha, release Mula Bandha, and return to your natural breath. Let's do our last round of 20. Kapala bhati. The inhalation happens after every exhale. Remember, it's just that it's passive. If it's noisy, don't worry, let it be noisy. Let's go. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Relax the mind. Hold the breath, but relax the mind. Feel into the stillness. And release Uddiyana Bandha, release Mula Bandha. Return to your natural breath. So the next practice for grounding and centering is a mudra called Yoni Mudra. So we have the index fingers point, the rest of the fingers are folded down. And then we just have the left thumb over the top of the right. These pointing fingers point down towards the floor. So the index fingers point down to the earth, grounding us. We can lift up a little through Mula Bandha. Feel a little bit of a tone through Uddiyana Bandha, lower abdominal area toning. And simply breathe here. Now, because our practice is focusing on getting a little bit more into the back body, we're going to breathe in to the lower lobes of the lungs in the back body. To gaze, just look down to the earth as you do this as well. Because we need this grounding and this security of earth to let the light of our consciousness come into the back body. The back body represents our past, represents the unconscious, what's in the shadow, the dark. The front body is, of course, where we're moving to, what we see and where we're going and the light ahead. So let's earth ourselves, feel grounded and secure. The eyes look down. The breath comes in and we're guiding it into the lower lobes of the lungs in the back, right around near the kidneys actually. Bringing some tone to the adrenals. Through this beautiful rhythmic breath. Coming in and out. Every breath literally touches the organs of the kidneys and the adrenals that sit on top of the kidneys. This is also very good for the feeling of the liver receiving the breath as well. Right around to those side ribs and side waist. Feel broad. Feel steady. If you like, you can use your Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. And do check the mudra with the hands as well. For example, I do prefer to have the right over the left, and that's my personal preference. So don't worry if that happens. Just notice. Perhaps after the practice, I feel like the opposite is more appropriate. When I'm more calm and more of the feminine energy is present. Let's just have one more moment, one more breath. And releasing the mudra. Come into any natural movement that occurs to you now. You've put this consciousness into your back ribs. So I'm quite sure that now it's sort of saying, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, oh, that feels good, that feels great. Whatever it needs, I'd like you to really harvest it. It's like picking the fruit and tasting it and really enjoy it. And go with your own timing. Sometimes stillness is precisely the thing, or slowness. Find the speed, the timing that's yours. That's your breath practice for broadening into the back body, bringing the light of the consciousness into the past, and calming the nervous system. Enjoy.